Well, it's been a little while since I did any videotaping. We went to Pattaya, and I may include some of that. Not much there. We didn't record much. We actually kind of just stayed in the hotel and sat in the air conditioning. I don't miss Pattaya anymore. It's a lot different than it used to be. Uh, I think it's lost its luster, quite frankly. Maybe it's just because I'm at a different point in my life and I'm not chasing the same things, but uh, yeah, it's just it's not the same joy. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna show you where I'm at today. um, I'm gonna turn the camera around here, and we went to town to get some supplies. I had to get some more paint and stuff, and we had a little rain shower out here, so uh, very, very light rain. And uh, we haven't had rain in a long time, and you see already the yard is pooling. So once the rains start in good, it's going to be a mess. So that's the next solution after I finish all the other 5 other things that I've got to do. Got first coat of primer on some of it. I only bought two gallons basically, and it was nowhere near what I wanted to cover. The square footage that they told me it would go, maybe if it was already painted. But man, this cement, and I even washed down the cement last night, so it almost sucked up all I could spray onto the cement. The water wise, very little water shed off of the wall, and it soaked a lot of it in. Got this side awning done, and I got the last piece to finish the inside piece over on the other side. So that is completed, the awning. So like I said, the first coat is done on most of it. So this side is, and man, it just sucked it up. It sucked it up a lot. So it's definitely gonna need 2 coats. And what I've seen the Thai people do is they'll dilute the primer, so it goes a lot farther, but it still doesn't seal like you should. And so one of the problems that you have with paint here is there's a lot of lime and alkalinity into the cement. So what'll happen is it'll start getting little pockets underneath the cement, where your paint will just chip off, and I think that's inevitable here. So what you want to try to do is get as good of a bond to the cement as you can. So I'm not diluting the first layer, and that's why it's taken so much. So this right here is 2 gallons. That's all the farther I got down the wall. So I went and got another 5-gallon bucket, 18 liters. And it's quite expensive. That's 2,200 baht, which 3,300 baht is $100 right now. So 3,400 baht is $100. So I'd say 72 bucks for a 5-gallon bucket of paint. I think that's about the same as it is in the States, but this stuff is thick, and you can tell it's not very even coverage. I mean, it just sucked it up, and I tried to put it on as even as I could, and it just really sucked it in. So, but in the end, I think it's going to look pretty good. So I got one of the, and here's what it looks like unpainted. So I should get in the habit of zooming out. Got the cement countertop in, but now comes the hard part. Is well, let me pause for a second. Okay, so I guess I didn't hit record on the last bit, but anyway, here we go. So the sink sits in there. So it's not level at all. It's not very well done. So what I have to do is I have to make a mortar base, and it's basically going to bring this tile up to about this level. So because this face is not level whatsoever, and right now it's pretty skinny and pretty thin, which is why I wanted it a different way. But I'm trying to, there shouldn't be like any big impacts or anything like that. Nobody will be able to sit there, and shouldn't have anybody, so it should be strong enough for what I'm doing. But this area right here is where the sink drain pan area comes over here. So that will have to be cut out as well. So what'll happen with this tile is I'll have a peat strip like this wide, and then this will become like an edge strip, because you can't get this tile. They don't have even at the big box stores here, they don't have bespoke edge tiles that are rounded. So everybody just uses these tiles. And I bought some corner, they're like a metal trim piece that goes along the edge. It's a quarter round, but they just don't sell the rounded off corner tiles, so you could use for like a little narrow strip. They just don't sell them. They just don't, because everybody does it like this. So backsplash will be tile as well. So this will be backsplash all the way up to here. That'll be tile. But I'm not looking forward to tackling that job. That's a skill that I don't really have. There's nobody around that I really trust to do it, because I don't think they have any more skill than I do. There's one tile guy over here. I would really like to get him to come do it, but I don't know if we're going to be able to make that done or not. He's just done several hundred square feet at the house next door, but I don't know how good that he can do something like this. Okay, next project. I went and bought this piece of wood. I got to put all my valves, so I'm doing all my plumbing. I'm going to have a main shut-off valve go to the feeder for this house, come over feeder to the mom's house, so that we can kind of separate the systems out. And then this will be screwed on the back of the wall back over here, so I get rid of, because right now these little cheap PVC valves here, they just, if somebody steps on them or if you use them 10 times, they start to leak. So we've got a big water puddle right there, so I'm going to eliminate those. I bought metallic valves. So basically what I'm going to have is basically a setup like that, where I have the main water come in, goes over, comes into the house feed, and then over again for the other mom's house feed. And that way I can kind of separate those two out, and they're all in these metallic valves. So hopefully they last longer than the other ones have, because the other ones they just don't. So I'm going to screw it down to this, and then I'll screw this board to the wall. But this is actually pretty nice wood. This cost me about $15. This is old salvaged wood from an old Thai house, but it's very pretty. It'd make a nice piece of furniture if you could do something with it. But I'm gonna get all the wood together that I need and go see the guy and see what he can scrounge up, and it might be a good little piece of wood. So finished painting, then move to the countertop. Well, I'm gonna primer, then I'm gonna move to the countertop, and then I'll do the final paint. And then we've got all the tiles for the bathroom. So I think it's gonna look pretty nice. If I can find a box, pause. Okay, so we got this tile for the bathroom. And then we're going to do 2 strips, 1 down, 3 of these tiles wide. So we'll go around the whole perimeter of the bathroom, like, oh, not quite, little thigh height, go around, and then we'll do another one up towards the top, and then we'll finish off with the white tile. So we'll have basically 2 strips of this, 3 of these tiles wide, and then the rest of the walls will be all this. So it'll be super clean. Pretty simple, pretty basic, but it should be very nice. And we got these, just a simple light fixture in there, but it's bright, and by the time we put the tile in, that'll be good. This room's just going to be painted, and what we're going to do for the light fixture, oh, they're in the house, but we're just going to take a rice basket and make the lampshades out of that. So it's starting to come together slowly but surely. My leg hurts, my knee hurts, my back hurts, I'm tired, and it's still hot, but at least it's starting to rain. Got my last piece of trim for this side. It needs to go right there where the sun's at, and then this side will be complete, and then the rest is just waiting for the extension. But I want to get this done so I can start cooking. Once we get this done here, we can start cooking and living in this house like we should be living in this house. So hopefully by the end of next week at the latest is my goal. Motivation, motivation, motivation. Where is it? All right. See ya. Doesn't get any fresher than that. Tonight's dinner.
17 บาทค่ะ อันนี้ทำอะไรนะคะ เอาพี่ไปเก็บขอเก็บเที่ยวแป๊บนึงนะคะ77รับมา 1,000 กะเพราเท่าไหร่
Catfish over there.
เห็ดจะหนาจังเลยเห็ดจะหนาที่นี่เลือกได้เลยค่ะปากแตกอ่ะแล้วก็กินไม่หมดจ้างรถขอเก็บที่ออกเลยอันนี้บางก็วางไว้
Fry that bad boy up. It'll be yummy.
นี่77ขอจ้างค่ะอาจารย์เอาตรงคอก่อนเคยคิดใหม่เนาะแล้วก็ร้าน10 บาทค่ะข้าวเป็นร้าน10 บาทเดี๋ยวปลาร้าเป็นตักโลละโลละ60 บาทนะ60 บาท
All kinds of fresh vegetables. This is a little local market.
นี่ปลาร้า10 บาท
Some papaya and bananas, dried fish, eggplant, 2 different kinds. Okay, it's Friday, the May 4th. This is what, excuse the body, but this is what working in Thailand looks like. This is why I lose weight. I am literally soaking from every pore in my body, and water is dripping off of my so the way I deal with it is 2 bottles of water to 1 bottle of electrolytes, which is basically Thailand's version of Gatorade. Buy these little packets. It's called ORS. So if you're in Thailand and if you sweat a lot, which if you try to do anything in this time of year, you're gonna sweat a lot. Make sure you replace those electrolytes. And I learned the hard way. The first time I came to Thailand in 1999, we worked here and I kept getting just terrible leg cramps at night. And we were drinking bottles. We'd take up in the morning, we'd take up 3 bottles of that in the morning and 3 bottles when we came back up for lunch, because we were up on the 6th floor. And IMAX is 6 stories tall, so some days we were going up 12, equivalent of 12 flights of stairs, and there was no air conditioning. So you learn real quick to make sure you hydrate. And the first signs that I get personally is leg cramps. So, all right, so we're doing the second coat of primer. So these walls have had their second coat. Inside there has not, so that's it's kind of patchy because that just sucks it up. So everything's got one coat on it right now, and you can see that's kind of patchy. So working hard on getting this done, and hopefully tomorrow I'll go buy some paint. We think we're going to do it in a gray, but we're not sure. Anybody watches, would you do it in the orange to match the house, or would you do it in a 2-tone gray? So basically, where this line is would be a darker color, this will be a lighter gray. So everything will be, there's a trim line around the base. I mean, there. So you got a trim line that comes down, goes over, goes back up. So this will be a light gray, this will be a dark gray. But that's where we're at. Went and bought the color that we're gonna paint. So that's the gray and then the darker gray trim. So this whole box here will be the lighter color, and then the darker color down there along that line right there. And then just the way the pricing was, they didn't have, like, I bought that's basically a 5-gallon 18-liter, but they only had the colored stuff in. That's a primer, this is actual paint. They only had it in 9-liter bundles, so that's like 2.5 gallons. So I needed 2 different colors. So what I'm going to try to do is use the trim color, the darker color, a little more often, so it kind of balances out. So I use a little less of the lighter color and a little bit more of the darker color. So what we thought about doing is a darker color on the inside of that, and then we'll still do this light, and the black backs are darker, and so that'll help do that. And then this wall here is light to the corner, and then do this darker because the doors are white, and this is all going to be white tile. So at that 200 centimeter mark, which is where the tile's going to end, I'll do this all dark, and it'll kind of help to kind of hide the bathroom when you're sitting out here. So this whole section will hopefully it'll kind of disappear. And then when we put the shades on the light, we won't get a whole lot of light on that. And then what I may do is just follow that same 200 millimeter line all the way around, or I just take it on, maybe just make this whole wall dark and keep these walls light. And then that way I get a little, because this is just a storage room, a pantry, if you will, and maybe a water tank room in the future, depending on how things go. And the washing machine gonna go right there. So It's just kind of a workroom. So I would like to keep it a little bit lighter, but I also kind of want that higher wall to disappear. So what I may just do is take that 200 line and keep it going here. And that wall will hopefully kind of disappear. So in that way I use a little bit more of the darker paint. And then I can keep everything else with the lighter paint. So that's the plan. $100 on 2 buckets of paint, which, you know, that's not too bad. That's a little over 5 gallon. I think Benjamin Moore paint is what, $27 a gallon, so that'd be $130. So I'm still a little bit cheaper than in the States. And this stuff seems to be pretty good. As far as long lasting, I don't know, but it appears to be a pretty good quality paint. The first bucket of primer I had was like putty almost. This stuff is a little bit thinner and it covered really well. So I'm pretty pleased with that Four Seasons. So that's why I bought the Four Seasons paint. Stand by. Tomorrow will be an exciting day. Start throwing some color on, and this place will start to take shape. Went to Price Tile today trying to buy locally, and I need 54 square meters. They had 50 square, and I said, okay, well, I need 54. They said, well, we have 50 square. So then I have to either get creative. She wouldn't even make a phone call to find out if there was another 4 square meters available somewhere. So basically each of those rooms are 4 square meters, 2 by 2. So that could be I could make that work. But I just didn't like the attitude. So I can go to the big box store, kind of like the Home Depot, which I don't like doing. Because I really think that this floor needs to be the same throughout. I don't want to have to change in those 2 rooms. For the bathroom would be okay, but that room I just kind of want it to be the same. So anyway, yeah, there we are. Gonna upload this and put it out. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Had some Tom French fries and barbecue chicken and a Leo, because I sweat like 20 gallons today, so I lost at least 3 pounds of water today. Sure.